glad to see you. Tonight we're going to do some things on healthy snacks because everybody eats snacks. And Liliana is going to do the program again. She did such a nice job last time. She got drafted again. We're also recording this. It's one of the videos that we are recording. We have half a dozen that Margaret's doing, and we'll eventually get staggered out onto both Channel 6 and onto the website. She may make an occasional comment in Spanish because we're also trying to have some of this available to the Spanish population. So the one that we just did, she did what we had last week at breakfast all in Spanish. So when you see that one come up on the channel, it's going to be in Spanish. If you want to practice your Spanish, you know what she was talking about because you saw last week. You can listen to it again. Anyway, she's going to do that, and then I'm going to tell you some wonderful things about snacks to not buy, please, or at least to think about before you buy them. She's also going to talk about food labels and reading food labels because with snacks, food labels are critical to know what it is that you're buying. And then at the end, my two friends over there are going to try to answer a few of your questions from last week on omega-3 sources and cancer supplements. So we'll do that, and then we will be giving you some dip and chip samples here, nice whole grain chips and some healthy dips that you have, and we'll do that toward the end of the program here, so you can snack on when we're telling you about bad snacks and omega-3s.
Good evening, everyone. How are you today? As Dr. McCool says, I am going to talk about healthy snacks, and later on I am going to talk about food labels. Snacks don't have to be a guilty pleasure. They can play an important role in a healthy and balanced diet. For that reason, it's important that when we are eating snacks, we need to choose the better options for. So we are not going to eat a lot of calories and food that is low in nutrients. Why are healthy snacks very important? Because if you choose the right snacks, they are going to help you to consume the recommendation of fruits, vegetables, and whole grains. This recommendation that this food that we need to consume every day. It also is going to help us to manage weight as long as you don't eat when you are not hungry. Because if you eat when you are not hungry, your body is going to store those calories in form of fat in your stomach or in your legs. So we need to be careful. We need to eat only when we are hungry. So if we eat when we are hungry, we are going to burn those calories. The snack foods that you eat should provide dietary fiber that is in whole grains, such as whole grain cereal, whole grain crackers, whole grain rice, or for example, in the snacks we can have whole grain chips. For example, vitamins, we get the vitamins and minerals in fruits, vegetables, and whole grains. You must avoid snack foods high in fat, sugar, and salt. We always tend to eat this kind of food that contains a lot of saturated fat, trans fats, a lot of sugars, and a lot of salt. So we must avoid this kind of snacks. Portion size snacks. It should be appropriate for your body size, activity level, and calorie needs. A person that does exercise every day, for example, for 3 hours, needs more calories than a person that only does exercise for 30 minutes, for example. So it's important. The snacks has to be a small portion. because it's, as the name says, it's a snack. It's not a meal, no, like the lunch or the breakfast or the dinner. So we must eat small portions. Packaged snacks, it's important to avoid oversized items, because if you eat a lot of snacks, you are eating a lot of calories. So it's important to eat small portions. They tend to be high in fat, calories, sugar, or salt. The companies, when they process the food, they try to include this type of nutrients, fat, sugars, and salt, to make the food more tasty. So the people is going to buy this food. And what they only care about the money, they don't care about if the product is healthy or not. So you need to be careful about that. The common mistakes when we choose snacks is that we choose snacks that contain refined grains, contain sodium, and a lot of sugar. So we must avoid them. Choose healthy snacks such as fruits and vegetables. You can choose the fruit that you like the most, or the vegetables that you like the most. Whole grains. The whole grains are in the, for example, tortillas, whole grain tortillas, whole grain wheat, all of that. Nuts and seeds. The nuts and seeds are they are a good source of protein, are a good source of good fat, but we must eat small portions. Why? Because they had a lot of calories. They had fat, they had a lot of calories. So this portion must be something like this. No more than this per day. Okay. And the other good option, or good healthy snack option, are low-fat dairy products. So you can eat a low-fat yogurt or low-fat milk. These are some snacks ideas. For example, you can eat toasted pumpkin seeds. Have you tried the pumpkin seeds? Are they good? Did you like it? Yeah, they are good. Whole wheat pretzels, preferably unsalted and with mustard. The mustard is a good option for dipping or for dressing, because the mustard has not calories. Low-fat popcorn is a good option too. It has whole grains, low-fat cheese sticks, dry fruits, low-fat yogurt. If you like tea, you can drink green tea, for example. Green tea has phytochemicals that are very good for our body. Fruit smoothies. If you like fruit, you can prepare a fruit smoothie with fresh or frozen fruit, with low-fat milk or low-fat yogurt. Well, now I am going to talk about food labels. So I am going to give you this sheet. Okay, let me.
You keep talking, we'll hand out.
Okay. I am going to give you this sheet, and I want you to answer the questions. There is a food label on it, so I don't want you to answer the questions right now, but you are going to answer these questions during my presentation. Okay, so food labels. It's important to know how to read and understand food labels, because if you know how to read and understand them, it's going to help you to get better choices of snack foods or any kind of food. Okay. Nutrition fat labels, they provide the number of calories that are in a serving of food. So in this case, this nutrition fat label has one serving size of this product has 5 crackers, as you can see it in the top of the nutrition label fat. And it also has 5 crackers, one serving has 80 calories. The number of servings that are in a package, we have the servings per container of this product has 28 servings. Anyone has any question about it? ¿Alguna pregunta? No? Okay, the nutrition facts labels also provides information on the amount of dietary fiber in grams or milligrams. It depends on the nutrients. In this case, fiber is given in grams. So fiber is, where is fiber here? Dietary fiber is over here. So you can see that it has 0 grams, so which means that this product is not a good source of fiber. The nutrition fact labels also provides information about the amount of certain nutrients that should be limited or avoided in the diet. It includes saturated fat, trans fat, cholesterol, sodium, and sugars. So here we have the total fat, saturated fat, trans fat, cholesterol, sodium, and sugars. For saturated fat, this product has 5 grams. For cholesterol, it has 30 milligrams. Sodium, it has 660 milligrams. Any questions? ¿Alguna pregunta? No? Okay. Well, it also provides the percentage value for fats, cholesterol, sodium, and other nutrients, except trans fat, protein, and sugars. So this is the percentage daily value, all of these. The percentage daily value can be used to determine if a product is a good source or a bad source of a nutrient. The higher the percent daily value, the more the serving of food contributes to an individual's intake of a specific nutrient. So foods that are good source of a nutrient, they contain more than 20% of the daily value. And foods that are a very low source of a nutrient, they have less than 5% of the daily value. So in this case, we had calcium. This product has 45% of calcium. So I would like to ask you, is this product a good source of calcium? Why? ¿Es este producto una buena fuente de calcio? ¿Por qué? Well, the answer is because it has more than 20% of the daily value. Remember, products that had more than 20% of the daily value, they are a good source. If they had less than 5%, they are a very low source of a specific nutrient, in this case, calcium. Is that clear? Okay. Vitamin C. Well, let's talk about vitamin A because I cannot see it, vitamin C, but vitamin A, is this product a good source of vitamin A? No, really? Why? Because it has less than 5% of the daily value. Okay, is that clear for you? Any questions? Okay, now we have the footnotes. At the bottom of the nutrition facts label, it provides the daily values for total fat, saturated fat, cholesterol, sodium, total carbohydrates, and fiber. The percent daily value are based on a diet of 2,000 calories. this is for a person that is healthy and is for adults. So if you are healthy and you are adult, you can use this as a reference. So you must, if you had you are in a diet of 2,000 calories, you must eat less than 65 grams of total fat, less than 20 grams of saturated fat, less than 300 milligrams of cholesterol, less than 2,400 milligrams of sodium, and less than 300 grams of total carbohydrates, and 25 grams of dietary fiber or more. It depends. But if you had any condition such as diabetes, or you had hypertension, or you had cholesterol, or something like that, you must go to the dietitian. And this person is going to tell you how many calories do you need to eat per day, and how many fat, saturated fat, cholesterol, and sodium, because it depends in your condition. So if you had, for example, if you had hypertension, you must eat less sodium than this. And probably if you are trying to lose weight, you must eat less calories than this. Okay. Any question? The ingredient list. All products, they have an ingredient list. So this ingredient list must contain, or it must say the product has what kind of fat it has. Is trans fat, is solid fat. So here I had some examples of solid fats, that are high in saturated fat and trans fat. When you are reading the label, you find in the ingredient list that it says that this product has partially hydrogenated fat. It means that it has a lot of trans fat. So we must avoid this kind of food, because this food is related with cardiovascular diseases. Well, so it's important, because many times we think that fat is only oil, but look at in this list samples, all of these are solid fats. Okay, so when the next time that you are going to look in your food label, you are going to look for these ingredients, and you are going to try to avoid them. As a recommendation, you must choose vegetables oils rather than solid fats, like this one. The ingredient list also must contain, it has sugars. So in this, when we talk about sugar, we always think about the white sugar, but there are other kinds of sugars that happen is they had other names and other forms. So in this list, I had different ingredients that are sugars. So if you are in a diet and you want to eat less sugar, or you had diabetes and you want to eat less sugar, you must take care of these ingredients too. The ingredient list it includes if the product has been made with refined grains or whole grains. So in this case, this product was made with refined grains. So when a product is made with refined grains, it must be fortified with these nutrients: thiamine, iron, riboflavin, niacin, and folic acid. So you can see it here that it has been fortified with thiamine, niacin, and riboflavin. We have been talking a lot about whole grains. So if you are looking in a food label or in a product for whole grains, you need to look in the ingredients and you must see it something like this. If the product has whole grains, it has whole grains oats or whole grains wheat. Or for in this list, I had some examples of ingredients that are whole grains. So if the ingredient list says that the product has oatmeal, popcorn, quinoa, whole rye, whole grain barley, and all of that, this product is a good source of whole grains. Any question? No. Okay. This is the summary of what we had been talking today. So when you read a food label, you must look first at the serving size, and then you are going to look about how many calories this product have. It's important to know how many calories are you going to eat. You are going to look in the percentage daily value, because if you need to eat, for example, a lot of fiber, you need to look if the product contains is a good source of fiber. You are also going to look, you are going to get a note of these nutrients such as fiber, potassium, or vitamins such as vitamin A or C, or minerals, any minerals in this product. Any question? Well, I want to compare fresh potato before it was processed and after it was processed. So you can see that the potato after it was processed, it has more calories. It has more sodium, a lot of sodium. It has a lot of fat, more fat than it has before, and now it has saturated fat that it didn't have before. The fresh potato before has it was a good source of niacin, vitamin C, and iron, and now it is a really bad source of these nutrients. Even I cannot talk about niacin because the value is so insignificant that we cannot show them in the nutrient, in the content of the nutrient value. How to compare nutrition fat labels. Here we have the Oreos snack pack, and we have dry apricots. The serving size of the Oreos are 6 cookies per serving, and the dry apricots are 5 apricots per serving. Dry apricots have less calories than Oreos. They don't have fat, they don't have cholesterol. The amount of sodium is very low compared with the amount of sodium in Oreos. It has dry apricots, they have more fiber, and they are a very good source of vitamin A. They had 50% of the daily value of vitamin A, which means that they are very good source. And they also, the apricots, they had also other nutrients. What happened with Oreos? Oreos, they had less fiber, they had more sugar, and they don't have they only had one nutrient, that is iron. They are a good source of iron, but they don't have other nutrients. So this is the way that you are going to compare nutrition fat labels. So any question? Questions? No? Okay, thank you. Thank you so much for coming. ¿Alguna pregunta? No.
Okay, we're going to talk about snacks and some of the things that you have in front of you and all of these displays that you have on the table. And then we're going to also talk about bad snacks here. And the reason you have all these things in front of you on the table, Liliana gave you this little exercise sheet that you can look at, and it has a sample label on it. And so she kind of wanted you to look at that. But we also have, if you kind of share around with your neighbors there, because we tried to distribute it, but I don't think it's 100% right, some packages of different things, and there are at least half a dozen bags of pita chips that you could look at. And what we want you to do is take a look at some of these things and answer some questions about what's in those packages before I tell you about these wonderful snack samples that we have over here. For example, if you're looking at the pita bags on there, I couldn't find exactly the one that Liliana had on the sheet. But for example, how many calories, how many servings are in that bag? How many? 8. Okay. How many calories in a serving? How many? 140. I don't have a bag to check, but for 9 chips. You all only eat 9 chips, right? When you open a bag? I mean, clearly I would only eat 4 or 5, I know, but there. 140. So you need to think about these kinds of things when you're reading the label on snacks. And that's another thing I'm going to talk about with some of these other snacks here, that they can be really deceiving if you don't look to see what that portion size is. And most of us pick up the package and look and say, oh, well, it's got, you know, it's only got 100 calories. There's no problem. It's not too much sodium in here on there. But in fact, did you look at the portion size? And that's can be very misleading with it. What else is in that package? Is this a whole grain product? How do you know? It says so. The first ingredient is a whole grain item, so this is a whole grain product. I picked this off. Some of you are maybe familiar with the Nuval scores that are in United. If not, Tyra and I did a video. You can find the video. Robert can tell you where to do that. The higher the Nuval scores, the better the product, although the range is not the same for all the items in the store. I hunted and hunted. This was the highest Nuval score snack item I could find on the shelf at Market Street on there. And it's 20-something, better than 25, but less than 30 as I recall what it was on there. And it's because there is a fair amount of sodium, but it's a whole grain product, so that helps raise the Nuval score there. What else was on that sheet?
Okay. No trans fats.
Any trans fats here? Zero. And that's something to bear in mind too. Even if you see a product that even has a small amount of trans fat listed on it, the chances are to have even more than that. So try to not use trans fat products. How about sodium? 270. Is that good or bad? What do you think? For snacks, it's not too bad, because what's the percent daily value of that? 11, which isn't too bad as snacks goes if you can keep it down in your meals. And remember that the 2,000 calorie example that was talked about here has been revised with the 2010 dietary guidelines for Americans for everybody over age 50, looking at only 1,500 milligrams of sodium is what was recommended on there. Or if anyone has diabetes or any kind of cardiovascular problem. So you really want to keep the sodium down.
How many calories they consume? They have 2 portions or 2 servings of this product.
I'm sorry?
2 portions of this product, how many calories? Okay,
if you ate 2 portions, how many calories do you get? This is higher math. 280, you get twice as much. You had a question?
Is 1,500 what we're supposed to have on that sodium a day?
Yes. That's what's recommended. Now, back when I was doing clinical dietetics years ago, and that was back in the early dark ages, we considered that a low-sodium diet, and it really is a relatively low-sodium diet. And it's hard to do because most food manufacturers have more sodium in it if you're buying a lot of processed food. Easiest, easiest approach is to buy all fresh things and do your own and add your own salt or something else. So I say 11% here for a snack really isn't too bad as long as you don't eat this whole bag, and remember that you're eating 8 times that amount there. But yes, 1,500 is recommended. Okay, we had some other items around on the table too, and so we thought maybe you could look at some of these other things and tell us if you think they're good, bad, or indifferent. Tell us something about the product based on looking at the labels. And really only about one of those products out there isn't the greatest in the world. There. How about that popcorn? Is that any good? Remember, popcorn is a whole grain, and we want you to eat whole grain, so popcorn would be one way to do that, but we want good popcorn. What's the problem usually with popcorn? Butter. We load it with butter, and then we shake on a container of popcorn salt on it as well. There. How about that one, though?
It's got 5 grams of fiber.
Yes, it does.
1.5 grams of fat.
That's not very much, is it? So, which is good.
24 grams of carbohydrates.
It's not bad. There. And how much sodium in there?
I haven't found the sodium yet. Oh. 35 milligrams.
Just really not much at all. So you're basically eating just plain popcorn. So that's a good popcorn. So you can get good popcorn that you can put in the microwave and have a quick snack, and that's a good snack on there.
Can we get it at United?
Yeah, I got that at United. Yeah. Yes. Yeah. I got everything here at some United store or another. I don't guarantee that I got them at the Mule Shoe United, but I got them at a United store or another. Yes, there's really only kind of one sort of bad item. Who can see a bad item? Anybody see a bad item?
The grits didn't have much in it, but it had a lot of iron. It was 45% iron. There's not much else in there, and it had 13% sodium.
Okay, the grits is the #1 bad item that's sitting out here on the table on there. So good choice there. What's wrong with the grits? Because you can also go to the store and you can buy a container of grits that has a Newbound score of about 90 on it, so it's as good as oatmeal. Because corn grits, of course, is made from corn, and corn is a whole grain. What's wrong with the grits that you've got? Any idea?
It had butter on it. And I probably do one worse. I don't put butter in my grits, but I do put sugar.
There. The problem with that particular grits is it's made out of degerminated corn. So if you see degerminated corn on a package, it is no longer whole grain. It's just like the refined wheat. The germ has been taken out of the corn kernel, and all you're eating is the endosperm. So you're losing the bran, you're losing the germ out of it. So when you're looking at corn,
This is all natural.
all natural, but it's going to be natural, but it's not degerminated. See, read your ingredient list on there, and you're going to see whole grain. You don't see anything about degerminated corn, do you? So that's a whole grain corn. So it's a big difference with it, and again, a reason to check the labels on things. So again, these are just some samples that you can look at and see some things on the labels. Look for whole grains, look for making sure that the sodium level isn't too high. While I tell you about your bad snacks here, we have given you some snacks to eat, and I'll tell you about the granola in a minute. But what you have is the 2 dips that we gave you the recipe for, and some whole grain scoops, and we've got plenty of dip and plenty of scoops. You can have more if you want. We just have a small plate to put them on. So I'd say go ahead and feel free to try them. Again, the whole grain scoops that we got have a Newbound score of around 25 or something like that. Again, it's one of the better items on the shelf for a snack item there. Then we have some wonderful, not too good things. Everybody like Pringles? No takers for Pringles here? Why do I think this is a problem? The salt, but even more than that, if you bought this little can, or you took it home, or your kids bought it, or what have you, How many people would eat this whole can? Every one of them. So you read the back and it says calories 150, sodium 140, 1 gram of fiber and what have you. It doesn't sound too bad. But the problem is what? The serving size. There's 2.5 servings in this can. So really, there's over 400 calories. I didn't bring any of the big size because well, I thought this is more sneaky in terms of the labeling on there because people would pick this up. You go to the Stripes or any of the fast food stores, you pick this up and it's a snack and people will eat the whole thing. And so when you're looking at these bags of chips and things like that, especially on it, look how many servings are in it, because there's, in my opinion, it's false and misleading because people don't think of it as being multiple servings. There. Let's see. We have the Veggie Sticks. How about Veggie Sticks? What do you think about this as a snack? Looks good, right? Would kids like them?
Are they baked or fried?
Doesn't say. It says it has 55% less fat than potato chips, so it's probably baked. There. How about it? Does it look pretty? But it's pretty attractive, and it says Kid Critics Approved on the front of it. There. So you could buy it for your kids or grandkids and think that you're getting something good, right? Wrong. This was one of the worst items on the snack shelf. There. And it looks like it's a vegetable item, but it's not. Really, it has 130 calories. There's 7 servings in a container here. 130 calories each, so if you multiply it out, it's over 1,000 calories in the bag. 5 grams of fat, 310 milligrams of sodium, 0 fiber. And what do we know about vegetables? They're full of fiber. There's 0 fiber here, 1 gram of protein. There is 0 vitamin A, 0 vitamin C, 0 iron. What happened to the vegetables? When you go to the ingredient list, it starts with potato starch, dehydrated potatoes. So really it's kind of a potato chip anyway with some color added. Some safflower oil, rice flour, sea salt, and at the end, what they've thrown in is a little bit of tomato, spinach, green pepper, parsley, paprika, celery, and garlic, and I'm sure it's powder that they've ground and put in there on it. This basically had a Nuval score of 4 on there, which is really bad. And to me, this is, again, it's a false and misleading kind of advertising because kids could be attracted to this, and moms would be attracted to it. It says less fat, great for kids. Veggie Sticks. I'm going to get it as a snack for my kids if you don't read the labels on it. So reading the labels is really important. Yeah. Then we have some other goodies here. As long as we're doing munchies, we'll do munchies. This was the best of the bad snacks that I got. And the reason I got this, again, is because of the number of portions. This didn't have too bad a score. It's just how many portions do you think are in this package? 4, 5, 6. According to the label, there are 8. Now, if I put this in a bowl and handed it down, let's see, that would be everybody in that table is getting a portion out of this bag. So how many are you getting in your portion? Not much. So again, look at the labels. If this wasn't 8 portions, there's 140 calories, so 8 times that is over 1,100 calories in this bag if you ate it. So it's a lot. Sodium, 210 milligrams, so it's more than your daily allotment of sodium in one bag here, because you multiply that by 8 and it's 1,600 some milligrams of sodium in the bag. Has some potassium, which isn't too bad. It does have 1 gram of fiber on there. So again, read the labels, especially looking at the portion size. Then I brought some other things. We'll do the granola last because that goes with the granola there. Okay. Cookies. Everybody like cookies? Cookies? Oreos, good cookies. There. I got this because it was the lowest Nouveau score cookie on the cookie shelf. And had a score of 2. There. What's wrong with the cookies here? The sugar. That's right. You get 3 cookies per portion. So you get 9 servings out of here. Fat, 9 grams. So if you ate the whole package, you'd get 81 grams of fat. But 9 grams in 3 cookies. That's 3 grams per cookie. Sodium, potassium, sugars. In those 3 cookies, you get 18 grams of sugar on there. So it's the sugar. And if you go to the ingredients list, and you know the items that listed first is the one with the highest content. First ingredient here is sugar, followed by palm kernel or canola oil. Then you get around to a little flour. And you've got some fructose in it, another sugar, dextrose, another sugar, several sugars in here, and a whole lot of other unpronounceable items in here. So this is not the greatest snack in the world. Unfortunately, the cookie aisle isn't the greatest place to be if you're going for snacks, unless you make your own, make them at home, make some whole grain oatmeal raisin cookies or something, and use some applesauce for part of the oil. There. I brought this because everybody likes Twinkies back from the old days. Twinkies get such a bad rap. Actually, they're better than the cookies. And there. Better than the cookies. You get, for each cake, you get 150 calories. The first ingredient here is not sugar, at least it's flour, enriched flour, not whole grain, followed by sugar, water, and then corn syrup, and then high fructose corn syrup, and then more shortening. So you have plenty of fat and sugar. Each Twinkie has 4.5 grams of fat and 18 grams of sugar in your Twinkies, in case you want to reintroduce your kids to your... How many Twinkies did we eat when we were kids? On there. But the pièce de résistance, Krispy Kreme donuts. Donut in here has, how many calories do you think? 380. You're cheating because you read the package. Each donut has 380 calories per donut. How many of those calories are from fat? More than half. 210 of those 380 calories are from fat alone. There are how many grams of fat per donut? You're all going to go out and eat donuts. You're never going to eat these again. On there, 23 grams of fat per donut on there. 10 of which is saturated. And what did Liliana say about eating saturated fat? No. 50% of the saturated fat of what your daily value on there. In one donut, you get 150 milligrams of sodium, not so bad, 40 grams of carbohydrate, of which 1 is fiber, and 23 grams of sugar on there. So you can enhance your fat with the same amount of sugar, 23 grams. You do get 4 grams of protein. No vitamin A, no vitamin C, a little bit of calcium, a little bit of iron there. And the ingredient list is in microprint, and it's that long, which means there's all kinds of stabilizers and you name it that's in here. And again, we try to recommend to people, if you're picking out something, try to get products that have no more than 5 ingredients on the ingredient label, and you're going to get a more nutritious product. This has 1.25 inches of microprint of ingredients listed. I got this 2 days ago. Are these still good? Yeah, the expiration date on here is, the sell-by date is tomorrow. So this has been on the shelf probably for 4 days. Oh, and they still look perfectly good. It's all these other ingredients that are added into it. So think about this whenever you're buying things and look at the labels there. And tortillas. Yeah, Liliana mentioned whole grain tortillas, but I also want to mention that corn tortillas, again, are also whole grain tortillas. So if you're going to make something out of it, the corn tortillas are as good as the whole wheat in terms of whole grain on there. And this had a Nouveau score of 91, and that one had just about the same on there. So they're all whole grain items. So I encourage you to use those. Then the two other items. One of your snacks you have was the little containers of granola. Now, I'm not saying you should eat snacks, granola for snack, but I had this left from another program, so I thought it was interesting for you. There. The granola that you ate was not this granola. It was granola that we made on there. Its nutrient content isn't all that dissimilar from this package. But why would I want you to make your own granola? It also had pumpkin seeds in it too, in case you, those little green items were the pumpkin seeds if you hadn't had them before. Why would I care about you making your own granola, and why not just go to the store and buy this? It's a little bit better for you. So I said not too much difference. I want to save you some money. How much did this package cost? Too low. This I did get at the Muleshoe United store on it. It costs $5. There. So I figured out on proportion, I can't remember what it was, but it's about twice the amount of the portion. And on your granola sheet there, it tells you how much it costs per portion there, and I use the same proportion as they used here, the same portion size on there. So it's much less expensive and equally good, and I put a lot of nuts and the seeds in the granola at about half as much, as half and half compared to the oatmeal. So you got a lot of high value items in there for at half the price of what you would pay to get it. Now, if you don't have time to make it, although the granola is really easy to make, you dump everything in a bowl, stir it up, put it on a sheet pan, put it in the oven, stir it once in a while, take it out, let it cool, and eat it. There. But again, I don't recommend it as a snack. There's too many calories in here. The granola is good for adding on to your breakfast cereal or into salads or anything like that as an add-on kind of thing. Please don't sit down and eat the whole bag of granola on there. And this one, this is a 4th cup portion. That's probably about a 1/4 of a cup. Yeah, that's the recipe he gave us. I would guess that's about a 1/4 of a cup that in those little cups. They're 2-ounce cups, so that would be equivalent of about a 1/4 of a cup or about a portion. And one other thing that I brought, because we talked about it last time, and then these girls are going to tell you about some things you have too. You wanted to know about tofu sausage, because we were talking about tofu and tofu sausage and the things that we made. I found some tofu sausage at the stores, both at Walmart and United, believe it or not. So you don't have to go to Dallas. And we got a couple kinds. Here's tofurkey. There's no turkey in here. Kielbasa, if you like. Or we also have tofurkey beer brats on there. So it comes even in different flavors. And the main ingredient in both of these is, down here, organic tofu. It gives you ingredients for making tofu, then other seasonings just that you would have with other sausage. So if any of you really want to get carried away and want a vegetarian sausage, it's available locally. There. So I had to bring this to show you there. Now these ladies are going to tell you answer some other questions you had on omega-3s and supplements.
Yes, I handed out you 2 papers. I'm going to go over the first one, and it's our cancer prevention supplements. In reviewing studies on the effects of vitamins A, C, and E, multivitamins with folic acid or combinations of antioxidants, which is the key word there, the U.S. Preventative Service Task Force, an independent panel convened by the Public Health Service, concluded in 2003 that there was insufficient evidence to recommend vitamin supplements as a way to prevent cancer. So whenever you're going to the store and you're looking down the supplements aisle and it's take this to prevent cancer and take that to prevent cancer, ultimately there is no supplement. Your supplement is your food. Keyword being, like I said, your antioxidants. You can read the rest, like our beta carotene, which is in sweet potatoes, carrots, cantaloupe, squash, apricots, pumpkins, mangoes, collard greens, spinach, and kale. Your lutein, which is your leafy vegetables such as collard greens, spinach, and kale. Your lycopene, which is your tomatoes and tomato products. Watermelon, guava, papaya, apricots, pink grapefruit, and blood oranges. Your selenium, which is your rice, wheat, meats, bread, and Brazil nuts. Vitamin A, liver, sweet potatoes, carrots, milk, egg yolks, and mozzarella cheese. Vitamin C, your kiwi, oranges, strawberries, cantaloupe, grapefruit, guava, green and red sweet pepper. And then lastly, we have our vitamin E. It is your almonds, wheat, sunflower, corn, soybean oils, mangoes, pine nuts, sunflower seeds, turnip greens, avocado, tomatoes, and peanut butter. So a lot of times, as far as like hoax go, you have to be real careful when trying to get healthy. You have all these herbals and herbal supplements, and they're really going to try to enforce for their advertisement and, you know, marketing benefits that if you take this, you'll prevent cancer. But there's so many different articles that you can read that it's really in your supplement is your food that you eat by getting your antioxidants, because what it does is it repairs oxidative stress cells, which is ultimately turns into your cancer cells. So it's in your food that you eat, such as these things, such as these vitamins and minerals that really help repair and prevent cancer inside your body by, you know, helping your cells. Next, I know she asked last time about omega-3s. So right here we really forced using flaxseed oil and ground flaxseed. The oil from flax seeds is highly unsaturated, thus will be easily damaged upon exposure to light, heat, or air. Flaxseed oils can be purchased in the refrigerator section of natural food stores. It is packaged in black plastic bottles or dark brown glass bottles to protect it from light. The oil must be kept refrigerated and will stay fresh up to 8 weeks after opened. Check the expiration date. Once it starts smelling skunky, that's means it went rancid. Definitely want to discard that. Flaxseed oil should never be exposed to direct heat. Therefore, you don't cook with it. Its boiling point will not cook in a skillet or anything. That's why it says it works well with salad dressing base, tasty topping for pasta, potatoes, rice, or vegetables. A lot of times I know if you take like the red potatoes, you can cut those up and dice them, and sometimes as an alternative, instead of butter, you know, maybe drizzle some of the flaxseed oil on it with maybe some rosemary or anything like that, just to kind of add flavor and keep things healthy for sure. I'll leave out the butter. And also it says you can get it in garlic and chili flavored. I would like that. Sounds good. It can also be added to hot cereal, soup, sauces, dips, or blended drinks. Mix flax oil with butter or non-hydrogenated margarine for an omega-3 rich spread. That's pretty good. Using it as a ground flaxseed can be sprinkled on salad or cereal. The soluble fiber in the seeds will make the liquid in your cereal very thick if it's too long. Ground flaxseed also makes an excellent egg replacer. That's something I didn't know for sure. 1 tablespoon of ground flax mixed with 3 tablespoons of liquid replaces 1 egg in baking. This works especially well in muffins, pancakes, cookies, and cakes. And on the back, we just gave you a table just comparing all oils in your omega-3 and then your omega-6 and how many grams it has per teaspoon or per tablespoon. So there's a lot of times in this kind of area along the coast, most of the time it's not a problem, but especially in our kind of area in which we're in, we don't eat a lot of seafood. We're not, I mean, the only reason we're exposed maybe to like iodine and stuff like that, which you can, hold on, I'm drifting. Yeah, salt and stuff like that. So a lot of times that's why they're trying to promote fish oil or omega-3 or people who have iodine allergies. So you're not going to eat a lot of fish products, therefore you're not going to get your omega-3 and omega-6s. So instead of having to take a supplement every day, this is a natural, very, very good way to get it. And obviously flaxseed has the highest content. Just got to make sure whenever you are doing supplements that you don't exceed our daily limits. Therefore, you're going to run into toxicities, and you're actually going to start counteracting what you're doing. So, some good information. Yeah, go for it.
Thank you. Has anyone used flaxseed oil with cooking or at all? Have you heard of using flaxseed oil in your food? It's really a great source for the omega-3 and omega-6 vitamins. Basically, I'm just going to summarize about supplements right now. Supplements are most beneficial when trying to meet the recommended dietary intake for vitamins or minerals. It's beneficial if you don't have a very healthful diet every single day, because it helps meet those levels of vitamins and antioxidants. So another thing is there is such thing as too much of a supplement. Does anyone here take calcium supplements or vitamin D supplements? Those are very common, but you do have to look out for the dosage, because I'm pretty sure it's vitamin A that you can have a toxicity level. Some people think, oh, it's a supplement, it's good, the more I take, the better it is for me, but that's not always the case. So just whenever you are looking at your bottles, be sure to watch the dosage, because you don't want excess. And supplements are really good for people who are deficient. You know, if someone has anemia, that means that they don't have enough iron in their blood. So they have to take an iron supplement to put that in their body. So if anyone is deficient in vitamin D, then you take a vitamin D supplement, you know. Does anyone have any questions about supplements that they use, or go ahead.
Is there a chart anywhere that tells us exactly what we're supposed to have each day?
It really varies from person to person. The populations that usually take supplements are children, pregnant women, and the aging population. You know, they're the ones who need multivitamins, calcium supplements, vitamin D supplements. But it's important to talk to your doctor about it too. Ask him. So these are the supplements I'm taking. Should I take more? Do I need these supplements that I'm taking, or am I okay? Do I need to take something else? Omega-3s are really important. It really helps your cardiovascular system work properly, basically, and it's good for your hair, it's good for your skin, and it's really something that everyone needs in their diet, but we can't always get that around here, can we?
Can we take too much omega-3?
There really isn't a toxicity level on omega-3s, but really just, let's see, I take omega-3s, and I probably only take 2 a day. I might just take 2 in the morning, and of course, supplements also vary on when to take them. You know, you take 1 in the morning or 1 before you eat, you know, on an empty stomach, before bed. But ultimately, it comes down to your schedule. If it works better for you to take 2 in the morning because you have things going on the rest of the day, and you can't just, you know, have them in your pocket or in your purse to take before lunch, that's fine. You know, as long as it's in your diet, you know, and it's included, then you're not in any risk. I mean, did I answer your question okay? Mm-hmm. Okay. Yeah. Did anyone else have any questions on supplements? Yes, ma'am.
On this thing it says English walnuts
Yes.
are really good for omega-6. You got a special walnut?
Actually, I don't know if it's a special.
Just plain old walnuts.
It's what?
Just plain old walnuts
Yeah.
that you buy in the store.
Any kind of walnut. Yeah.
No, that's just the name of it.
Yeah, it should just say walnuts. Just ignore that part, because all walnuts are really, really good sources for omega-3, omega-6.
Do pecans have any?
They're a nut. They have a good fat, but I don't know if they specifically have omegas.
They're not as good as omega source as the walnuts, but they're high in vitamin E and other sources. Any of the nuts are good. The walnuts particularly because of the omegas.
Right.
Do
Right.
they lose any of their value if you smash them with anything?
Nope.
Smash them.
Nope.
Any nuts?
Yes.
No, you can smash them. It's okay.
Yes. Yes. Well, and that's a good question, because some vitamins and nutrients do get lost in cooking. And so maybe depending on the meal that you're making, or if it's just fresh fruit for dessert, you will have more vitamins and nutrients than if you eat it fresh, than if you bake, or I don't know if you bake it, but if you fry it, obviously it's going to lose a lot of nutrients that it had because you're cooking it away. So that's just something to keep in mind also.
Any other questions? I forgot to tell you, this is Justine.
Yes.
Her friend in there is Mia. They're both undergraduate students on it. They have senior hours, but they got a few more courses to take before they can graduate and move on.
Yes. Thank you for the questions, though. It's good for me to be able to tell you guys what I know.